nice to know that even after a horrible disaster like Tammy, Melissa McCarthy can come back and make good movies again. Spy stars Melissa McCarthy, Jason Statham, Jude Law, Rose Byrne, and a couple other very talented and funny people, and is directed by Paul Feig, or Feig, I don't know how you pronounce it, who directed these two movies. And I really love Bridesmaids. It's funny, just a surprise hit out of nowhere. Then its follow-up, The Heat, wasn't as good, but it was a funny movie for sure. And so going in, I wasn't like expecting awfulness, but then the trailer didn't really impress me. It didn't help that before this came out, we got Tammy, that just really made me go, yeah, Melissa McCarthy. I don't need to see any of her movies ever again. But word going in was like, oh wait, no, this is actually a very funny movie. So I was like, okay, I'll check it out. I hope it lives up to the little expectations I have. And I was blown away. I was freaking blown away. Paul Feig, I guess he's the one guy that can make Melissa McCarthy really funny, because I mean, Tammy, Identity Thief, she's been in some other movies that are just awful movies. In this movie, Melissa McCarthy plays a basically desk person at the CIA. She's the person in Jude Law's ear. He's basically like an American James Bond, even though he is British. And then some things happen and she decides to go into the field when all the agency's identities are, revealed? Yeah, that's a hard word. So it's kind of like the plot of that one spy movie. Which Mission Impossible is that? Number 4? I think, or a James Bond movie or something. All the agency's identities are known. It was Skyfall, actually, yeah. And everyone knows them, so she's unassuming. She's not known as like a James Bond, so they send her out into the field to try catch the bad guys, one of which is Rose Byrne. Jason Statham's on her side, but he's gone rogue, and he's pretty much, the whole movie, he's lampooning his Jason Statham persona. One time, this arm was chopped off and I reattached it with this arm. I'm Jason Statham. I eat bullets and piss gasoline and fire. That's essentially what he's doing the whole movie, and it was hysterical. This movie is fantastic. It is so funny. It's right up there with Bridesmaids. It's definitely better than The Heat. It's really like, it's just on all cylinders firing. It's a very funny movie, but it's also a good action movie. And I don't say that often. A lot of times you get these comedies that, as I like to say, play pretend like they're action, where, oh, well, it'll be a comedy, but it'll have a crime story around it. And that's when you get such shitty, garbage-ass movies. Let's Be Cops comes to mind off the bat. And I could, if I go down the list of terrible comedies, a lot of them have it. I'm thinking the Bounty Hunter stuff. It's just comedies that like will force in an action subplot or crime subplot, and it's done so poorly that it just distracts even more from the bad comedy already. But this, it has good comedy and good action too. Paul Feig can make a good action scene, and since he's doing the new female Ghostbusters, that should hopefully turn out pretty good, because the action in this is very good. I liked it. And the comedy, as I said, very funny. Melissa McCarthy, hysterical. She's got some great jokes in this movie. She's really funny. And she didn't feel like she's doing, oh, I'm Melissa McCarthy, look at me. Because sort of Bridesmaids and The Heat had a certain persona, and in this, she wasn't exactly playing that completely, so she showed a little bit of range, I guess. Jude Law was pretty funny as basically a parody of James Bond. You know, he's constantly fixing his hair, stuff like that. Jason Statham, as I said, lampooning himself. Rose Byrne was pretty good as a villain. But everyone else, like Melissa McCarthy, has a very tall sidekick partner as a desk job. She was very funny. There's a funny cameo or two. It's a very funny movie. Good action. Paul Feig, you can do Ghostbusters. I'm not as worried as I was before. I'm kind of looking forward to it a little bit because I trust him. He's pretty much 3 for 3. So yeah, I would actually definitely recommend you go see Spy. It's one of the funniest comedies to come out so far this year. I mean, the only other one I can think of off the top of my head is Pitch Perfect 2, and this was way better than Pitch Perfect 2. I would give Spy an A-. Definitely check it out. It's very funny, a good action movie. It's worth your time. And if you've seen it, comment below, tell me what you thought of it, and thanks for watching. I'll see you guys later.